Hey there, it's Colleen. I believe this live is starting. I'm also going to be pressing live on Instagram, so if you see me looking, that's what's up. And all right, we're live. Hey, it is good to see everybody. And I wanted to make a quick little video about how to feel like a CEO versus a secretary in your day to day life, especially if you have your own business or are an entrepreneur. And yeah, so I'm doing Instagram and Facebook, by the way, if you see me looking all over the place. But so I just love time management because I find that it helps me feel really fulfilled at the end of the day, really like I accomplished something, and it helps me actually live my purpose because how we spend our time is how we spend our life, right? If we can't manage that, we can't get what we're here to create out in the world and out of us. So in my own personality, having ADHD, having a lot of ideas, and also coming from a rigorous high school that trained me to basically do 10 or 8 different subjects in a day, I've always been in this pattern to stuff a lot within one time, right? So, for example, the way that I have been conditioned to work and used to work was where I would say, all right, 8 to 9, it's self-study time and whatever I'm studying. 9 to 10 is my business marketing. 10 to 11 is a client. 11 to 12 is lunch. 12 to 1 is this category, money management. Boom, it's a day, right? It's great. And that can work, right? Because we're hitting all the things. We feel like we're, checking all the boxes. But at the end of the day, if I'm being honest, I was depleted. I was so tired. And also, I was so like, scattered and feeling drained. And I couldn't figure out why this was happening when I was actually, per my Google Calendar, getting so much done. Now, I came across this really beautiful time management hack and understanding called context switching. And before I tell you what that is, I want you to tell me in the comments if you can relate to that feeling. The feeling like you have a lot of ideas and you want to get them all done, but you try to implement and then it's like, it's 10 at night. Like, where did it go? I don't even feel I moved ahead. Let me know just with a yes or like I can agree in the comments because I want to know if this is true for you too. And the thing about what's coming up for me right now is that when I talk about this, it even reminds me of when in college I used to work for my mom's law firm. If you don't know about this about me, my mom, my dad, and my stepdad are all lawyers, which is kind of funny. It didn't really translate that much. But anyway, I got to step into the world, and for a couple years in college, I'd come home from the summer and I would work at my mom's law firm as a receptionist. Now, at the time, I thought this was going to be such an easy job because I just always answer phones and then I get to doodle and I get to read and I get to talk. But it was crazy, y'all, because at the end of that day, I felt so much more depleted than my mom, who was being a lawyer and doing really great work. She had, energy. And I couldn't figure it out because I wasn't doing a lot of cognitive tasks. When I say that, like, does that resonate? Because it's weird, but even though when I do a lot during the day, which I'm going to tell you how to feel differently, by the way, it's crazy because it's the same thing, whether it was a high school thing or, an actual secretary role. That's the energy behind it. It's scattered, it's all over, and you're trying to do a lot at one time. So here is the difference to switch it, because that's the energy of a secretary. And in fact, that's the energy of the feminine that we've been, as females, especially feminine embodied humans, to play the game as, to be the subordinate, to be the catch-all, to be the one with 8 arms. And let's just be honest, that's not the most empowering. And we're here to get empowered, right? I'm here to help empower myself and help empower you because we're here to do great things. So let's just get more into the driver's seat and say, okay, if that's like in reality not working, what do we do? If we're being honest, the secretary is not the one that gets paid the most, right? It's the CEO or it's the person in a higher level position. What's the difference? Now, the difference is the CEO or the person in a higher level position is actually focusing more on one thing at a time. So I was just talking about context switching, okay? And there's my ADHD brain, but we're coming back. So here's how you can stop feeling so scattered and actually start feeling like, I am so proud of myself for what I got accomplished today, okay? With our brains, every time we focus on something new, we're actually basically making a choice. And the biggest correlation per a Harvard study around success and feeling accomplished wasn't, talent, it wasn't resources like money, it wasn't even the amount of time you had. It was your ability to have self-control. Okay? Self-control, another way to say that is discipline. Another way to say that is willpower. And so the more willpower or self-control or discipline you have, the more you can funnel that energy and be successful in whatever it is you say you want to do. So when coming back to have a different decision, we get distracted or we have different categories, buckets in our day to have things accomplished, we're making new decisions, we're scattering our energy, and we're losing out on our self-discipline. We're actually depleting, like, literally our willpower as if it were a tank of gas. That means that the more decisions we make throughout the day, the less likely we're gonna be successful. Okay? We're depleting our resource of success. Okay? So that's what that means. And so how can we be feeling more successful and actually see things moving forward is function like a CEO. What does a CEO do? I mean, I'm not a CEO, I'm not going to pretend. However, if you really think about somebody in a position of power, they don't have to beck and call to everyone. And they basically do as much of the same thing in one day as they can. That way, they don't have to use their resources in their head or in their energy and attention to go to different places. They can just funnel it towards one thing, even if there's different chapters in that, and then get more done and feel like they're actually accomplished. I mean, look, just in my body right now, I feel more contained, I feel more relaxed, and I feel more accomplished. So I want you to try that if you're feeling ever like you're scattered or you have a lot of projects. For example, now I only coach my clients on Thursdays and Fridays because then I can get into the coaching zone, and the other days have more time to just have either if it's personal or learning or marketing or creation. Like, it all has this flow. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because even if I've made a calendar that didn't fit that, I'm going to change it and be more intuitive to allow myself to flow more so that I can actually stop context switching and focus and regain my energy, trusting in myself and trusting in the universe that I will get accomplished what needs, and I'm going to ride this wave to be able to get the most done and feel the most accomplished. It's that trust of myself, the universe, and knowing this is how successful people function. So let me know in the comments, just with, again, a yes, if this makes sense to you, and let me know if you can relate. Can you relate to that experience of always switching? Because there's so much beautiful things we want to create in the world. And maybe even what you've done, or what's the most frustrating part about that you have found too. I hope this is helpful. Feel free to DM me if you just want to keep the conversation going more than in a comment, or just let me know, what's going on for you. And can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to talk more about this in the future and other yummy things I have coming out. But how you use your time is how you use your life, and that's how we live our purpose. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.